Hey there, my name's Naira and this is your postnatal yoga practice for roughly 10 weeks after giving birth. We're going to start standing up, so come over to the wall and place your hands against the wall and then walk your feet away from the wall until they're directly underneath the hips and you've got your arms and the whole length of your back parallel to the floor. So you're basically making a sort of right angle with your body, looking down at the mat to keep the back of the neck long. And when you found your position, so the arms can either be directly parallel to the floor or just angled ever so slightly higher. You can have your knees bent or straight. Spread the fingers wide on the wall and then push against the wall to really get a nice opening through the shoulders, keeping the hands shoulder width apart. Lengthening through the back of the neck, drawing the crown of the head towards the wall and the tailbone away from the wall, so you're making your back as long as you possibly can. Then when you found this position, you're feeling comfortable, you're feeling that connection with the hands against the wall, pushing against the wall, we're going to do a gentle pelvic floor activation. So here, you're going to draw up through the pelvic floor, so engaging the vaginal muscles, lifting them up away from your underwear, tightening through that pelvic floor and at the same time lifting the lower belly, drawing the navel towards the spine. Let's try that on an exhale. You can see I'm letting my belly hang there. Inhale, push the wall away. Exhale, engage through the pelvic floor, lift the belly away from the mat towards the spine. Breathing here while holding the pelvic floor and the belly. Hold as long as you can and then release. Let's do that once more. On the exhale, you've lifted up through the pelvic floor and you're lifting the belly towards the spine. Continuing to push the wall away with the hands. Keep breathing. Might be feeling a stretch through the back of the legs and also through the lower back. And bend the knees, slowly walk back towards the wall, release. Well done. Another pelvic floor activation now. So just going to get the movement first and then we'll use the brick. So back against the wall, step the feet slightly away, not too far away. And place the hands on the wall, connect the shoulder blades to the wall, lower back as well. And then just bend through the knees. You can adjust the feet so that the knees are directly above the ankles, but we've just got a little bit of a bend. We haven't got the thighs parallel to the floor. Then inhale. As you exhale, press the lower back into the wall, tuck the tailbone under, lift up through the pelvic floor and engage the glutes slightly. Got that? Let's do the movement one more time. You can also put your arms straight out in front of you if that's easier. Inhale here, so you're allowing the curve in the spine on the inhale. Exhale, press the lower back into the wall, lift up through the pelvic floor, tuck the tailbone under, engage the glutes, don't let the legs separate, keep them parallel. Breathing here, belly pulling to spine, lifting through the pelvic floor, and release. Nice work. That was just to get the movement down. We're going to take a brick now and do that with a brick between the thighs. So legs are in the same position. Place the block with the thinner side in between the thighs. And we're going to do exactly the same thing, except this time you're squeezing the block as well as all the other movements. So you might need to bring the feet a little closer together so you've really got that grip of the brick between your thighs. Hands straight out ahead, allowing the natural curve of the spine. Inhale. Exhale, lift up through the pelvic floor, tuck the tailbone, squeeze the brick, pull the belly button towards the spine. And breathe here for 5, 4, 3, squeeze, squeeze, 2, and 1. Release once more. Inhale, exhale. Tailbone tucks under, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the brick, squeeze the belly towards the spine, and most importantly, lift up through the pelvic floor. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Let's do that once more. Inhale. Exhale, tuck the tailbone under, lift through the pelvic floor, belly to spine, glutes engaged, squeezing the brick between the thighs. Holding here, lifting the pelvic floor, lifting, lifting, squeezing the brick for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Great job. You can do that more times as you get stronger as well. But for today, 10 weeks after birth, we're just starting to get that pelvic floor activated. So no need to get too intense. So standing with your back against the wall now into tree pose, you can have the heels a little bit away from the wall. That's probably going to be more comfortable than if they're against the wall. You've got your glutes against the wall, shoulder blades against the wall, so opening through the chest. And we're going to take the weight into the right leg first. So spreading all the toes of the right foot on the floor, feeling the weight evenly distributed through the whole of the right foot, except the arch, which is lifted. And then taking the left foot, and you can either, you're basically bringing the weight into the right foot, and you can either have the toes against the floor, like so, so you're just resting the sole of the left foot against the ankle, or you can take the left foot, I'm a bit too far away from the wall, take the left foot onto the calf, the inside of the lower leg, or you can lift it all the way up to the inner thigh. Just don't place the underside of that left foot against the knee. We don't want to damage any ligaments. I'm going to go for the thigh. In this position, once you've got your position, engage through the glutes. Again, lift through the pelvic floor, belly to spine, look straight ahead, open through the chest, shoulder blades against the wall. You can feel both glutes against the wall still. Push the left foot into the right leg into the left foot to get that counterbalance. You can either keep your hands against the wall, have them on the hips, or if you're feeling brave, bring them to heart center. Find a spot that isn't moving. Stay engaged. We're strengthening through the leg. We're engaging the pelvic floor, strengthening the pelvic floor. We're also finding balance in the body in this pose. Balancing the nervous system, and take a little while to just notice how the hips feel, whether you feel an imbalance in the hips or not. They've been through a lot of work over the past 10 months or so. And release, other leg. So coming onto the left leg, same principle, make sure that the weight's evenly spread through the left foot, and place your foot in the same position that you did on the other side. So it can either be against the ankle with the toes touching the floor, against the inside of the shin, or you can take it right up and place it against the inner thigh. Just don't press the foot into the knee because there are ligaments at the side of the knee that we don't want to put pressure on. So you can have a very soft bend in the left knee, engage through the glutes, grow through the crown of the head, grow as tall as you can, push the floor away with that left foot, push the left leg into the right foot into the left leg. You've got your position, you've got the support of the wall, lift up through the pelvic floor, pull the belly towards the spine, and then hands can stay on the wall, on the hips, or you can lift them into prayer position. Try not to lift that right hip, drop it down so that you're keeping the hips level. Engage the glutes, keep that pressure of the foot against the leg against the foot. Always keep holding onto that pelvic floor, lifting up, belly to spine, opening through the chest, and of course breathing here. And release. Great work. Let's come onto the mat, onto all fours. We'll do a few cat-cows just to mobilize the back. Hands are directly underneath the shoulders. You can have the knees either hip width apart or a little bit closer together, directly underneath the hips. Inhale, look forward, drop the belly, arch through the spine. Exhale, relax the head round the spine, push the mat away with the hands. Inhale, look forward, shoulder blades come together. Exhale, shoulder blades separate as you round the spine. Inhale, chest open, tailbone lifts. Exhale, tailbone drops, relax the head. Continue this movement a few times. Moving in time to your own breath. Inhale as you arch. Exhale as you round. And then bring the knees together, sit back on the knees so the thighs are touching. We're going to come into a child's pose with the legs together so that the stretch is more through the lower back rather than the hips, giving you some relief if you're suffering from any back pain. So slowly walking the palms forward and placing your forehead on the floor, then close down the eyes and just rest in this position for a few moments. Stay in the pose. With every exhale, feel the hips sink a little further towards the heels. You can lightly press against the mat with the palms of your hands to get more length through the back, to encourage those hips closer to the heels. Feel the forehead heavy on the mat. Release through the jaw. Keep breathing, letting the belly hang. Feeling the front space of the body with every inhale and feeling the hips drop lower with every exhale. And when you're ready, slowly walking the hands back towards the knees, and we're going to find our way to our back, slowly coming down with the support of our hands to do a little bit of ab activation. Now, we're going to be working through the transverse abdominals, so it's the deep core, the lower belly. Important to work through that after pregnancy, anytime really. Just make sure that if you're starting ab work through pregnancy, that you're working the pelvic floor first and in tandem. Placing the palms of the hands on the floor. So flex both feet, legs are out straight. You can take a little moment before you do that just to see how the back feels on the mat. And then as you exhale, just make sure that you imprint the lower back onto the mat. So let's do that now. Inhale, exhale, belly to spine, imprint the lower back onto the mat. And then inhale, pull the belly to the spine and lift that right leg up, keeping the foot flexed. Exhale, slowly lower it back down, moving really slowly. Inhale, belly to spine as you lift the left leg up towards the ceiling. Exhale, slowly lower down. We're going to do 5 on each side. Inhale, slowly lift the right leg up. Exhale to lower. Inhale, up comes the left leg. Exhale to lower. This time, as you lift the right leg, I want you first to push your heel away from you. So inhale, push the heel away to really find length through that leg. Lift up and exhale to lower. Left leg, inhale to lift. Two more on each side. Right leg, inhale to raise. Make sure you're drawing the belly to the spine, keeping both shoulders stuck to the floor. Exhale as you lower. Left leg, inhale, lifting up. Belly to spine. Exhale as you lower one more time each side. Keep those hands pressed to the floor, shoulders on the floor. Inhale, float that right leg up. Lower belly engaged. Exhale to lower. And final time on the left side. Inhale, float that foot up. Exhale to lower. Through all those movements, you want to also, if you can, be lifting up through the pelvic floor in the way that we have been in the other exercises. Final move before relaxation. Just going to get my block again. So we're back. We're still on our backs. Place the block between the thighs. Again, I do it the narrow way round. Feet flat on the floor. We're going to do some dynamic bridges and then a hold. So place the hands firmly on the floor, shoulders glued to the floor. Squeeze the brick between the thighs. And you're going to inhale, and on the exhale, lifting the hips off the floor. You can also lift on the inhale. That's actually the more traditional yogic way to do it. The more Pilates version is to do it on the exhale. So to be honest, just do whatever you feel comfortable with, as long as you've got the movement. I'm going to lift on the inhale. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, belly to spine. Imprint the lower back into the floor. Inhale, squeeze the brick as you lift the hips up by squeezing the glutes. Exhale, lower vertebra by vertebra. Inhale, squeeze the glutes, lift the hips, squeeze the brick between the thighs. Exhale, lower down, upper back, then middle, then lower back. Inhale, tuck the tailbone under, lift up. Exhale to lower. Two more. Inhale, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the brick. Exhale, lower. One more, make it the best one yet. Inhale, squeeze the glutes, belly to spine. Lifting up those hips, and exhale to lower. And we're going to do it a final time, but this time we're going to hold at the top. So inhale, prepare. Exhale, imprint the lower back onto the floor, tuck the tailbone slightly. Inhale, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the brick, lift up. Press the shoulders into the floor, keep looking at the ceiling. Lift up through the pelvic floor, squeeze those glutes, squeezing the brick. For 5, 4, 3, keep breathing, each count is a breath. 2, and 1. Slowly lower down, upper back, then lower, then middle. Really great work. Put the brick to the side. Hug the knees into the chest, just slowly rock from side to side, just massage the lower back a little bit. And you've done a great job. We're going to come straight into relaxation pose. So you can either just lie flat on the mat, that's absolutely fine, but what might feel really nice as well is to have a bolster underneath the knees so that you can really relax the knees. And then lie back into relaxation pose. Let the arms flop out as wide as you like, palms facing the ceiling. Legs can be fairly wide apart as well. Just feel all the contact points with the floor. Back of the neck is long, shoulders in contact with the floor. Belly is soft. Glutes are soft, everything is soft and heavy on the mat. with these postnatal yoga sequences, as well as working the body, just use them as an opportunity to rediscover your body after pregnancy and giving birth. Always with curiosity, not judgment. Rediscover the breath. Keeping the eyes closed, just breathing naturally here. Letting any thoughts, physical sensations or emotions that come up, letting them pass you by like traffic or like clouds in the sky. Not engaging, just staying in the present moment. You can stay here as long as you need to, or if you want to come up, bending through the knees, rolling onto one side, and coming up into a seated position. You might want to take a nice stretch with the arms, crossing the legs, rolling the shoulders back, maybe move your head around, do whatever you need to feel comfortable. Then taking a big inhale through the nose and an exhale through the mouth. Bringing the hands to heart center in prayer position. Inhale through the nose, and then on the exhale, we'll make the sound Om together. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I'll see you next time.